to cook up incredible solutions. Anyway, I'd like to hand it over to #GetInvolved to Betty and Daniel, who will tell you about their project.
Hi, I'm Daniel, this is Betty, and I want to take you back about 2 weeks ago to the night of the election. Remember that kind of sinking feeling in your stomach when you realized that politics was about to impact your life in a much bigger way than it has in the past. Especially my generation woke up the next morning with this realization. And I personally spent about the next 2 weeks yelling on Facebook, but then I wanted to get involved. So this is really the opportunity, or the challenge, sorry. How do we channel election dissatisfaction to drive actual concrete political action? How do we activate a generation to become politically active? This energy that we all feel has the potential to transform into hope or also into depression. How do we take that feeling and go from hopeless to hopeful 5 minutes at a time? The solution is a one-stop shop to easily find actionable activities that you can take which are issue-oriented about things that you care about, and to engage at the level of commitment that you have to offer. We came up with whatthefuckdoidonoww.org. So we're going to do a quick little demo. So whatthefuckdoidonoww.org is a curated platform with local actionable activities that are focused around individual issues. So I want to care about reproductive rights, but I don't really know what I should actually do right now that's going to make any difference. So I can come to the website and put in the issue that I care about, and it's going to offer me quick, actionable items that I can do just about from anywhere. Right now, we're looking at actions that are going to take 5 minutes to execute. We have donations to not-for-profit organizations which are already working in this space. We have calls to action to call your legislative representatives. And if we go filter on more longer engagement activities, part of the idea here is people are going to get to activate this generation. We want to get them involved in small chunks, 5-minute activities that anybody can do with a pathway to more permanent engagement. So there's opportunities to educate yourself by watching topical issue videos or volunteering. So let's say if I want to volunteer with Planned Parenthood, there's a really simple call to action that takes me directly to the next step I need to take to get involved in my local community. This concept of giving these bite-sized chunks is key to our idea about how to get this message out to the community as well, which we see as kind of the crucial element. This idea is going to live and die on marketing, and if we can get this message out to the people. So to talk about that a little bit more, here's Betty.
Great, thanks Daniel. So I just want to start off by saying that Americans spend 37 billion hours in their lifetime waiting in line. I mean, that is ridiculous. And you know, the really strong concept and strategy behind this is every minute matters. That we wanted to engage people in their everyday moments when they're just waiting, you know, and you're sitting in traffic, waiting for the bus, waiting for brunch in San Francisco. Come on, you can make so much impact in the time that you're waiting. We're looking at, as far as marketing goes, we're looking at 3-phase strategy. We're in phase 1 now, where we're beta testing and looking for volunteers and nonprofits to sign up to help us with this website. Phase 2 is launching, which means that we're going to be really heavy up on social media, and that's like ads, you know, like, hey, did you just waste an hour looking at everybody's baby photos and vacation photos? You could have been doing this instead. The thing to keep in mind is that we're really targeting the audience we're calling Slacktivists, who are people who love to engage online. They like to share, sign petitions, you know, really be enraged about what what's going on in their world, but they don't really, you know, want to get off the couch sometimes. So those are the people we want to make sure that we're, you know, communicating with strongly. We're also going to be targeting college campuses. doing some outreach as far as PR goes. And then another really key part of the success of our website is working with nonprofits and social organizations to make sure that they work with us to populate their content, because they're gonna be the ones who know what is going on the ground at the local level that no amount of Google searches sometimes brings up. Phase 3 is ongoing, and that includes weekly engagements like, hey, this is what is happening now, this is what needs your attention. It's partnerships with really awesome like-minded organizations, many of who are at this hackathon today, and also exploring traditional media in some untraditional ways, such as what can you do while you wait for the bus? 5 minutes can impact a legislation by signing a simple petition. While you're waiting for brunch, 1 hour of waiting can help to rehome and resettle refugees. In line at grocery stores, 5 minutes can really help women get what they need with various organizations that we have listed on our website. What next? So as I mentioned, the really important part is getting curators to help populate this content. So, activating this network and making sure that we have people who are aware of our website. And also a national database of action items to automatically aggregate content in addition to these awesome curators, just to kind of take that heavy lifting off as well. So as we mentioned, we're in beta phase. We would love for everybody to reach out to us, whether by email or on Twitter. We'd love to hear from you. If you want to be part of our beta testers, let us know, and we could really use your help. And as Daniel mentioned, me and Daniel are here to represent the team, who unfortunately weren't able to be here, but we really had a lot of strong minds behind this product. Thank you.